Today I discovered something that I do when I'm watching a really bad movie. What I do is I find myself slouching in the seat that I'm sitting in. I'm high enough to where I can see the screen and pay attention to the movie, but I'm low enough to where if somebody I know walks into the theater, they can't recognize me. That's how bad this movie was. Hot Pursuit stars Sofia Vergara from Modern Family and Academy Award winner Reese Witherspoon. Just want to remind you people of that. Reese Witherspoon plays a very uptight, by-the-books cop who works in Texas, and she is assigned to escort a widow of a guy who's connected to a drug lord, but basically something goes wrong. They're on the run from the drug cartel, corrupt officers, and they have to basically try to get along in a generic road trip comedy. Now, explaining what I do in the theater seat when watching a bad movie should be enough to sum up my feelings for this movie, but let's dig a little deeper. Let's see what exactly is wrong with this movie. Because this is actually something I went into with the best intentions. I mean, you had two funny actresses. Reese Witherspoon has proved to be not only a talented actress, but can be very funny at points. I just watched Election a month ago for the first time, and she's really good there. She's really funny. And then you have Sofia Vergara, who can be obnoxious in some other movies, but in Modern Family, she's funny. In Chef, she's toned down from how other people usually use her, but she's still funny. So I figured these two funny women would make a decent, maybe not a great movie, but something that's relatively watchable. Well, you just got to put that little U and N in front of watchable, and you got yourself Hot Pursuit. It was torturous to sit through this movie because it's not funny. These two actresses have no chemistry with each other and try their damnedest to make it funny when in actuality it's just very awkward. And I think that might have had to do with the script. It's just a very generic road movie where you run into these situations where they gotta pretend they're lovers, they try to outrun people who are trying to kill them, they argue with each other constantly, they have to try to get closer to each other and bond pretty much, but that latter part just doesn't work. I'm not gonna say that these two actresses couldn't stand to be next to each other, but as terms of the characters, there was just nothing that clicked between them. One of the things that they try to do in an attempt to be funny is shout a lot in these accents. I mean, Sofia Vergara is Colombian, so that's fine. Her voice is natural. Basically, the director is like, okay, just do what you did in Modern Family, and that'll be funny, which it's not. As Jon Favreau proved in Chef, you gotta utilize her in different ways. You just can't have her doing the same thing she's known for, because then we watch Modern Family, we'll get sick of her. And as for Reese Witherspoon, she utilizes a Texas accent throughout the movie. Very thick Texas accent, almost like to the point where it's Jeff Bridges in True Grit. And as someone who was born in Texas, I could safely say that I could not stand that accent, and I'm so grateful I did not grow up with one. With these two voices, you just have a lot of, hey, Jay, you got back here. It's just, my brain is just too much in a cluster to try and even recreate those moments, because my brain's gonna fart out if I do. So was there anything that was good about the movie? Was there anything at all that was redeemable? Well, this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, and it is, but the movie never really offended me. The thing is, it's too safe to really go out of its way to be raunchy. Like, it's PG-13. It doesn't really try anything outrageous to either like get a hard laugh or to offend somebody. I mean, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to use this movie as a reference. As much as I despise The Hangover Part III, at least that, like, went the distance. It did things that were funny. Did I just say funny? It did things that were, I mean, not funny by any stretch of the imagination, but they were just very outrageous to where it wasn't boring. This movie is just really boring because it plays it so safe. It's that movie that tries to appeal to an older demographic. Like, if you're someone over 65, it tries to be that movie for them, but it just doesn't work. I mean, there were even some people in that theater who were the target audience, and nobody in there was laughing. Not a soul. So to wrap things up, Hot Pursuit is just, it's anything but hot. It's not funny. It drags on for too long. You have cliched situations that you see coming a mile away. Like, they set things up in the beginning of the movie. It's like, oh, this is going to happen at the end. And sure enough, it does. So I can't, this movie did annoy me. No question about that. It annoyed me when Reese Witherspoon and Sofia Vergara were trying to shout over each other. But if this movie had done something radically offensive or something that just angered me, I would have told this movie to burn in hell. But as it stands, just don't waste your money on this. It's going to be forgotten soon. If you want to see something this weekend that is generally funny, you're better off seeing Avengers Age of Ultron again, because whenever that movie has intentionally comedic moments in there, they're funny. They're funny where this just isn't. I know I can't compare something like Age of Ultron to something like Hot Pursuit, but in terms of comedy, the big budget superhero movie has better laughs than this. And that's my review for Hot Pursuit. Leave a comment to tell me what you thought of the movie. If you saw it, what did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends, and this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.